Like, if I call you my brother, you know what it is. And breaking the code, I could be calm, cool, collective. If we start wilding, I'm changing the mode.
Welcome to the Harding Way, everyone. It is I, DJ Harding, and today we're going to talk about some NFL talk. As you know, it's week one just finished. The NFL has kicked off, and we're going to go over some winners and losers, but not the literal winners and losers. More like a metaphorical sense of like who won and lost the moral battle here. Now, let's get right into it. We're going to have a fast start. Unlike an honorable mention on this list, the Bengals, who were having a slow start to their season. I mean, Joe Burrow looked rough. I thought about putting him on the list, but I'm assuming they're going to bounce back, so I figured I'd leave him off. Also, Jamar Chase. You can't really complain about having a contract and getting the most money by a wide receiver and then get locked down by a second-year guy like Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez almost was a winner on this list, but I feel like I'll give the Patriots a little bit more time. Also, shout out to Jerod Mayo. I mean, great way to start a coaching career. I kind of left him off the list because I had some other ones. But let's keep the train moving. The first big winner, Jordan Mason. I know you're thinking to yourself, who? Yeah, exactly. I mean, just what a way to start for him. Start a season, come in, fill in the role, run on the ground, look great against the Jets, who were supposed to have a really vaunting defense. He made them look like Swiss cheese because their defense had a lot of holes in it. But yeah, I mean, just rough outing for the Jets. But for Jordan Mason, definitely winner this week. Now, speaking of the Jets, a big loser this week. Not the biggest, we'll get to them later. But big loser. Because all them people that believed you had Super Bowl aspirations, you had people picking them to win the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers supposed to come back from his Achilles tear and look amazing. They ain't look amazing. Granted, it's the 49ers. They just went to the Super Bowl. I get it. So cut them a little slack. They can always come bounce back. But for this week, going out looking like that, you kind of lost the moral battle there because everybody was believing in you. I don't know why. I mean, I'm from New England, so I never believe in the Jets or New York teams in general. But just for the rest of y'all, I mean, I feel like we all forget that Achilles tear is supposed to be something tragic. Speaking of Achilles tear, another loser, Kirk Cousins. I mean, my oh my, Buddy looked rough out there. I mean, just the Falcons as a whole. I mean, I know if you're a Falcons fan, you got to be tight. I mean, if you're not, Kyle Pitts secretly not, because he finally caught a touchdown and getting the ball thrown his way. So he's probably winning. Honorable mention, if anything. But Kirk Cousins, my oh my, good golly gee, that was rough. When I say rough, I mean rough. But technically, some winners is everybody around the Kirk Cousins situation. I mean, if you're Michael Penix, I mean, you secretly won because they're talking about sitting 4 to 5 years. You're probably sitting 4 to 5 weeks if he keeps playing like that. Another winner, his replacement in Minnesota, Sam Darnold. I mean, a career resurgence and to look way better than the person you're replacing, filling those shoes. And honestly, I'd say fill them shoes and your toe bust through the front of it the way Kirk Cousins looked. Hey, I say he wins. And the Vikings in general, I think you just come away with a win because you look better and you look like a genius for letting Kirk Cousins walk and get all that money. Now, a loser, if we're keeping track here, we got some winners and losers, the Packers. Even though they almost won that game, there's no Jordan Love for the next 4 to 5 weeks because of MCL sprain. That right there is a loss, especially when you think about it. They were supposed to go to the playoffs this year. I mean, they still could, possibly, but you're relying on the back of Malik Willis. I think that speaks for itself. Because, I mean, nothing against Liberty Kid, but speaking of Malik Willis, though, we'll go to someone who's battling it with in camp last year, Will Levis, another big loser. I mean, that pick was horrendous. I'm gonna hopefully play in this clip while I'm talking about this and showing that picture because if anything else, that is the biggest reason why he lost this week is because he is now going to be an absolute meme for probably the rest of his career, but if not, at least the rest of this season because that just to get caught looking like that after making such a horrendous play and letting the Bears defense beat you because it sure wasn't the Bears offense. But we're going to talk about the rookie Caleb Williams and all the other rookies in a different video. You'll get that later this week. But yeah, if you're Will Levis, I mean, my oh my. Eesh. What a rough way to look at. But someone who did look good this week is CJ Stroud, someone in his fellow draft class. I mean, you got to give it to CJ Stroud. He's looked good. Year two's coming off to a great start. Also looked good. Baker Mayfield. I mean, the Bucs look good. Baker Mayfield is now leading the league in passing touchdowns after week one. What do those two men have in common? They're the two men who are benefiting the most from the Deshaun Watson trade. Because Deshaun Watson, ladies and gentlemen, just might almost be your biggest loser of the week. He got topped by somebody else, but it's up there because my oh my, what a rough way to go if you're Deshaun. I mean, eesh. Just all the different sound effects for that one. Because if you're Deshaun Watson, ever since post off-field everything, I mean, it might be ongoing. I'm not sure. Post all that, post the injuries, you just don't look good. I mean, Joe Flacco showed up and had a better time in Cleveland than you did. That, right, once again, speaks volumes. I mean, goodness gracious, that sentence just sounds wicked. And I just, wow. I mean, the Browns, Cleveland just might be like, besides Nick Chubb and Jim Brown, I think Cleveland's just a place your career goes to die. And Myles Garrett, well, he's doing pretty well there too. But like for the most part, I got a Mount Rushmore. You go Jim Brown, Nick Chubb, Myles Garrett, Ozzie Newsome. Anybody else? Your career just went. You went there and you just goodness gracious. But the reason why I said Deshaun Watson not the biggest loser is because I think the biggest loser of Week 1 is all those people who drafted all the fantasy players who drafted people in the first round, and they just stunk up the bed Week 1. I'm looking at you, Amon-Ra. I picked Amon-Ra St. Brown in the first round, and I'm now paying for it. So I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, Travis Kelce is another one. Mark Andrews is another one. I would say DJ Moore, but I said I'm going to save that for another video. I mean, just a rough day overall. Which is why I think the biggest winner of Week 1, above everybody else, is the preseason. Because goodness gracious, did everybody look a little rusty. I mean, it said all the quarterbacks averaged for 185 passing yards. Clearly we wasn't throwing the ball well this week. And I think it's because everybody a little rusty and everybody hasn't got a chance to play. Which is why we have the preseason. But I digress. But yes, the biggest winner is the preseason. And also, you guys for watching. So that's my list. Thank y'all for coming. If you want to subscribe and hit the bells and the wings and things down there, I'd appreciate it much. As I like to say, ain't no way like the Harding way. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.